tell me, folks, how Newsweek, the New York Times, Ben Collins from NBC, and Twitter are the sources of real news. They're the legitimate fact checkers. Jack Dorsey needs to put labels on stuff. And yet when a totally fake story gets debunked, they let that trend. And then when that story gets debunked, they let another fake story about Parler trend because they're not interested in the facts. They're interested in political attacks. Let me give you this anatomy of a takedown because this is what happened to us yesterday. Here's how it started. A while ago, we got an email from this life loser and troll, this basement-dwelling lunatic piece of human filth and garbage. Oh my gosh, Dan, that sounds brutal. Look this guy up and you'll see what I'm talking about. So here's this guy, William Legate, who's had trouble before, by the way. He had to make a retraction after lying about Project Veritas. So he's got a history of doing stuff like this. So this troll Legate emailed our CEO at Parler, and he wanted money. Hey, dude, we're going to have a drink so you're going to Vegas. And curious if you still have the bounty program for liberal influencers to join. Here's the thing. We put out this $20,000 or something reward for liberals to join Parler a while ago. So this guy's interesting. He admits he trolls on Twitter. He says, on Parler. He says, I have a Parler account, but I've just used it to troll. But happy to use it under my real name and promote it under my Twitter if properly incentivized. You get it? So he's winking and nodding at us that we should somehow pay him off under this bounty program. This lunatic to promote Parler. Well, we promptly told him to pound sand. Well, because he's a troll with a history of making retractions for lies, he decided, well, if I can't get money out of Parler, then I might as well attack Parler and make stuff up. So, but you can't just do it by yourself because this guy nobody takes this guy seriously. So he needed a media enterprise to take him seriously, to run with his fairy tale about Parler in this ridiculous attempt to shake us down for money. So next thing you know, after the money never came, this is what appeared on Parler under his Parler account. He says, the Parler administrators appear to be censoring Write in Trump for Georgia hashtag disgraceful. What happened to the First Amendment? Conveniently from the same guy, William Legate. That sounds bad, folks. Parler, we were censoring your hashtag? Write in Trump for Georgia? Man, we're really terrible. That's awful. What's the problem with that story? Nobody was ever censoring your hashtag at all. Oh, Dan, you made a mistake. No. The story's totally made up. The guy didn't get his money. Now the guy's mad. So the guy decides to try to attack Parler with a fake story about us censoring some pro-Trump hashtag in Georgia. You understand the story's totally made up. You could have put the hashtag in yourself, and whatever's on Parler will come up. But it requires you, to actually put the hashtag in correctly. So some people typed it in wrong. Oh my gosh, nothing appeared. So of course this story went viral. Well, why? I thought you said nobody believes this loser. They don't. But when somehow the story gets pitched to mainstream media people who hate Parler, you think, Joe, right? I mean, you have been the contrarian devil's advocate in today's show. You would think if you were a media person writing about Parler censoring a hashtag, that you would actually go into Parler and put in the hashtag and see if it's censored. Would you do that if you were a journalist? I'm just.
It's worth a look, Dan.
Worth a look-see.
Check it out.
Confirmed by producer Joe. Worth a look-see, folks. Yeah. Paula, would you agree? Yeah. Maybe a good idea to put the hashtag in? Paula agrees, so there you go. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. But no, none of that actually happened. So some dipwad at Newsweek named James Crowley decided, hey, I'll just write about this story. Free speech, air quotes. Social network Parler allegedly censoring Write in Trump for Georgia by James Crowley. The story's totally made up.
Jeez.
This is the anatomy of a hit. Ask for money, don't get money. Create a viral fake news story, pitch it to idiots in the media who will then run with it. The story's totally fake. The allegation is totally false. All this idiot Crowley had to do was put the hashtag in himself. Now, when I debunked it, because I came out and said, guys, ladies, again, Parler's under attack because liberals, New York Times, and elsewhere hate free speech, and Parler actually promotes free speech. We're under attack. This is just another in the one of Paula, 50 stories I've had to debunk. George Soros owns Parler. We censor Trump supporters. We steal your social security number. What else? We're working with Thanos and the Infinity Stones to destroy the earth. You understand these are all fake stories only meant to discredit the company because we support free speech. So when none of that worked, and the Newsweek guy, I discredited him, then NBC had to jump in. So you can always rely on this dipwad, Ben Collins from NBC, to always promote it. Here he is, Ben Collins, @1_ on Twitter. He says, talking about Parler, quotes the Newsweek story in his tweet. This is hilarious. Again, it's a very loose definition of free speech, talking about Parler, where he cites the fake Newsweek story. Now, here's the funny thing. Look at Ben Collins' ID, what he puts up on Twitter next to his avatar. This is hilarious. He's a, quote, reporter, folks, for NBC News. Reporter, journalist. Another guy, Joe, just checking. Probably a good idea to check the story first. Maybe put the hashtag in.
Yeah.
Man. We're just putting that out there. We're just putting that out there. So, step one, again, demand money. Step two, don't get money. Make a fake story. Try to go viral. Use idiots in the media who always call for fact checks everywhere else, who don't even fact check the story themselves. Let Newsweek and this moron at NBC, Ben Collins, run with the story. But listen, it's not enough to have two morons, James Crowley from Newsweek and Ben Collins from NBC. You need the biggest moron of all, who's got still a big microphone. The morons at Drudge Report, Sludge Report, which is totally sold out America and the conservative movement, they'll run with it too. Here's the story on Drudge today. Free speech Parler, allegedly censoring posts. Drudge, the human waste repository. The guy the website, seriously, that would sell out their dogs for money to make a buck. Promoting a totally fake story. That story's fake. But again, because Parler is a conservative, free speech, leaning conservative, being that I'm there. Liberal, you can go over there too, but a free speech app, Drudge has to attack it. Folks, it didn't end. It didn't end. When that fake story didn't work, that Parler was censoring Trump supporters, which was fake, Legate comes back again. You know, the guy went, here he is again on Twitter. Turns out Parler left its database credentials unencrypted on a public API. I've redacted their server passwords, but this is very, very bad for Parler. Here he is again. Loser dipwad who's, I can't, has this guy's parents disavowed him yet? I would. On Twitter, again, making up another story now that we've been hacked. Totally fake. Made up, fabricated fairy tale story. No truth to it at all. Yes, you're probably asking about the legal. Yes, we are working on legal options. We're not stupid. That's for another day. We're not dumb. Legate courts restricted access to his account after I think he knows he's in significant trouble now. So dipwad Legate now posts Parler is hacked. But again, this guy's not smart enough to make a story go viral on his own because people know he's a fraud. So he needs other people to play in. Who plays in, of course? Our best friends, and I mean worst enemies at Twitter, who are only more than apt to use dunce liberals to make the story trend. Look, trending in the United States on Twitter. Number one, SSNs. What does that have to do with anything? SSNs, keep this up, Paula. Well, that was trending because liberals who are dumb as mutated toads, imbecile liberals, never fact check anything. And Twitter, who claims to be a fact checker, let SSNs for social security numbers go viral because the allegation was, and why SSNs was trending, is that Parler was demanding your social security number and was hacked and your social security number's out there. Okay, both of those are false. Parler does not ask for a social security number. You could have just checked that. That's not true. And Parler wasn't hacked, number two. And look at the bottom. It's also trending. Parler hacked. This is what we deal with all day. But then again, tell me, folks, how Newsweek, the New York Times, Ben Collins from NBC, and Twitter are the sources of real news. They're the legitimate fact checkers. Jack Dorsey needs to put labels on stuff. And yet when a totally fake story gets debunked, they let that trend. And then when that story gets debunked, they let another fake story about Parler trend because they're not interested in the facts. They're interested in political attacks.
You just heard Dan Bongino.